this back into the room. But we're gonna do the city animal tier list right now. For those who live in the city, and ends up watching this video, whether it's y'all see it on Twitch or YouTube and whatnot. Comment down. Especially if you see it on YouTube, comment down and let me know what you felt like should have been the actual tier list for the city. And I'll let you know my opinions on these tiers because I live in the city. I live in New York City, one of the most populated cities on the planet. Not the most, but one of. And just trying to stay positive today. So let's get this started. First and foremost, like the video, man, and subscribe. What am I doing?
Sponsored by CuriosityStream.
Here I go! Body shield here. Level 4.
One of the newest biome types
Crows
introduced to the game
That was a crow. Crows are very intelligent.
is the city biome. This
Very
is a
intelligent
completely unique
creatures.
biome type that's almost entirely constructed by human players. However, this video isn't about those human players.
You know what I like most about? Because I seen another video like Cat's tier list. You know what I like about his videos? He treats it like it's an actual video game. As you said, he said this city is mainly, populated by humans or something like that. Hold on.
This is a completely unique biome type that's almost
Unique
entirely
biome type.
constructed by human players.
See?
However, this video isn't about those human players.
It felt like
nor is
an
about the
actual
players they
video game,
deliberately
man.
add to their party,
The
like
Pathfinder
cats and dogs,
voiceover,
but
bro.
rather all the other
This
builds
guy's
in
really
the
good.
game, and which ones function the best in the city meta. While obviously not all cities are the same, there are certain strategies that tend to make for a viable city build. We'll first discuss the most and least
raccoons
relevant abilities
raccoons
for
gotta
city
be
meta
high on
builds,
that tier list,
and
bro.
then go through the tier list for the city meta. The most important objective when playing in a city biome is avoiding direct contact with humans. While
Imagine.
there are ways to defeat humans,
Coming outside, you just
doing
see a
battle with
fucking
them
bear?
on their home turf is nearly impossible.
Oh shit.
And so builds that easily
Monkeys
get in
are
humans'
fucking
way,
crazy.
attract a lot of
Yo.
attention, or come off as intimidating
Imagine,
humans,
bro.
are going to be at the highest
Imagine getting your hair cut and a fucking
is
deer
avoiding
comes
direct
crashing through
contact
the
with
window.
humans. While there are ways to defeat humans, doing battle with them on their home turf is nearly impossible. And so builds that easily get
Get
in
hit-
humans' way,
Yo, bro.
attract a lot of attention, or come off as intimidating
Like, what do you
humans,
even do?
are going to be at the highest risk of doing that.
What even is
So
that?
what types of builds
What was
tend to
that
struggle
in the
in
road?
cities? The resounding answer seems to be tank builds.
Look like a
While
rodent of
tanks
some
tend to
sort.
be the most outright powerful builds in a given
Ain't no
server,
elephants
the
in
city
fucking
biome
cities.
does not favor slow-moving herbivores that require huge amounts of food
Okay, he was
and
getting
have
to
to
that.
spend most of the day grazing.
He was getting
In
to
addition
that.
to attracting a ton of attention, the city meta is fast-moving and full of unorthodox barriers that slow, large, defense-based
No.
builds have trouble overcoming.
Okay, it's good. It's
Builds
good.
that have controlling large territories
Thought
as
Bambi
part of
was
the main
done.
quest line will also have a lot of difficulty in city
That would be
biomes.
kind of fucking
Cities
crazy
are
to
tightly
see
packed
coming
because
outside.
The potential loot is
A
so
black
good.
bear
If all that
just
you're after
chilling,
is the
bro?
XP-rich food, great. But if you're after the territory itself, few challenges are more difficult or deadly than trying to conquer a human player's territory. So
They
what
just
does
tranquilized
work in
it. They
cities?
tranquilized it to it. Don't
Probably the most
don't go
common trait
crazy.
among successful city builds is omnivory. That's because omnivory is key to making sure the supremely valuable
Yeah,
loot
if you want to be a successful creature besides humans that live in the city, you gotta like adapt that not only that opportunistic mentality, you gotta be like become an omnivore.
available in cities is something your
Because
character
humans, we throw away a lot of shit, both vegetation and meat
can
and
actually make
whatnot.
use
So
of. This isn't to say
so
that
you can
can't
eat
succeed
all of
as
it,
a pure
then
carnivore.
increases
Obviously,
your
the
chances
crowded
of
nature
surviving
cities
or
means
thriving.
There's a lot of potential
Damn,
PvP
is he eating the
targets.
bird?
But there's no question that the scavenger strategy is more effective in cities than in any other biome.
Did he just take her food?
Hi.
Was that
this is
ice
Will
cream?
From Booker Law. If you use Steam, the PC game platform.
Did he take her ice cream?
Another common trait in the nature of cities means there's a lot of potential PvP targets. But there's no question that the scavenger strategy
That
is
is,
more
he,
effective in cities than in
she,
any
cause that's
other
a
biome.
that's a female monkey with her baby.
Another common trait is
She
nocturnalism.
took her
since
fucking
this makes
ice
it much
cream.
easier to avoid humans. Normally, I tell players
Hey, quick little fact about possums, because people tend to like dislike them a lot just based on their like visuals and whatnot. But possums don't get rabies. They are like immune to so many different diseases. They eat a lot of the things that we don't like, treat them nicely when you see them. I understand they're not, you know, pleasant to look at and whatnot, but I'm quite sure to the possum we're not pleasant to look at either. So just let him go about his day. You know, you're probably scared to the point that it pretends to be dead, but just leave it, and it'll probably get up and just walk off.
Who swap to a nocturnal playstyle to avoid
Don't
dealing with
hate
the
them.
diurnal player base.
Possums
to get
are-
good. But honestly, when it
Don't
comes
hate
to
them.
humans, I think it's a fair strategy. As I said before, city biomes present some of the most challenging terrain to navigate
Look
in
at
the
that
entire
raccoon,
game, and so
bro.
having high mobility and a versatile array of movement options is essential to traversing the concrete jungles.
Am I getting Facebook messages right now? I am. Oh, that was from the group chat. Okay.
Don't
okay.
spec into a high top speed if it means giving up the ability to climb, high jump, crawl,
What the
or
f-
swim. Because cities will before, city
Hold
biomes
up!
present some of the most challenging
Alligators
terrain
can
to navigate in
climb?
the entire game. And so having high mobility and a versatile array of movement options is essential to traversing the concrete jungles. Don't spec into
Give me a second. I gotta mute these tabs because all I keep on hearing is the messages going off.
a high top speed if it means
Bro,
giving up the
alligators
ability
can
to climb,
climb?
high jump, crawl, or swim. Because cities will test your ability to do all of these
Ain't
frequently.
no way.
Perhaps one of the most powerful city abilities is flight, because it not only lets you bypass
That's
just
true.
about any
Flying
obstacle, but
flying
also
has
is
to be
by
a
far
good
the
one.
best way to avoid or escape contact with dangerous humans. The most common obstacles you'll be able to interact with in cities are power lines, which can be scaled if you have the climb ability,
That's
but tend to be
dangerous.
best utilized by aerial builds as high visibility, low risk perch spots. Sewers, which can be accessed with the crawl ability and can function as a
Yo,
safe
that
shortcut to
raccoon-
multiple points in a city.
There's bears in
Buildings,
sewers?
which often require multiple skills
Bro,
to navigate
bro.
successfully.
One, pause. When I was growing up, you know, we used to get told that there's alligators in sewers and whatnot. And obviously there's no alligators in sewers. At least I don't think so. But there's raccoons and bears in there?
And often contain the best loot, but are also the most dangerous places to enter due to being almost always guarded by humans.
See
And
how
most
aggressive?
importantly,
Yo,
roads,
humans?
which are the most
Humans, I don't know what it is with humans' fear of raccoons, but so many humans fear fucking raccoons, and I think it's because raccoons make people uncomfortable. You know, they'll come right into your personal space and whatnot, and that makes someone really uncomfortable. You know, the fear of rabies and whatnot, where you know, they acting like every raccoon has rabies, and you can usually tell which ones have rabies. You'll see how it's acting, from behavior, all types of things like that.
common death trap for players in the city and require careful
That's
strategy to
dangerous.
traverse.
I'm happy that those people
However,
stopped
in the
though.
city meta, the most important factor by
'Cause some
far
people don't
is
give
the
a
build's
shit.
intelligence stat. And this is because the best rewards can only be sustainably looted by using careful strategy and problem solving. Whether it's opening doors, crossing streets, avoiding traps, or stealing loot from humans, without intelligence, gameplay in the city biome is much more difficult. Alright, so let's get into the tier list for the
Alright,
city
let's
meta.
go, let's go, let's
In
go.
F tier, we have the Deer Guild, which includes the classic
Deers
deer
are
build
F
along with its
tier?
variants like the elk and moose.
Whoa.
These builds lack nearly all of the most important traits for a city build.
Yeah, they too
They
big.
don't have a high intelligence stat, they can't climb or crawl, and they aren't omnivorous.
Look at.
However, deer players love to loot the
He's
gardens
okay,
that
yeah.
human mains create in cities and suburbs, and because of that, are extremely common at the edges of city biomes. However, they struggle to
we have
survive
some in
further
Long
inland
Island.
because of one of the main obstacles.
We have
roads.
theirs in Long Island. Oh
Because they have no
my!
way to climb
I'm not
or
even
fly.
rewinding
They
that. Y'all
often
saw
have
it
to cross
flying?
roads by making an awareness check, which they often end up failing. However, even at the edge of cities, when things get crowded, deer don't do well, developing chronic wasting disease.
I was about to say, they
although this
look
is mostly due to a
very
random bug in the
skinny.
deer's code, which I hope gets patched out soon.
Normal
Next on the tier list,
Patched
we have the
out.
first of many
The fact that he
birds.
treats it like a game is
Because of their
crazy to
high
me.
average intelligence, birds tend to do quite well in the city meta. This includes even the weakest bird builds out there,
Pigeon?
like the pigeon, which is on the low end of average in terms of the bird's stats. Still,
But pigeons
being
are
below
very
average
intelligent,
intelligence for a
bro.
bird still puts you well
They
above the
smarter than
average
we give 'em
overall,
credit for.
and pigeons are great at making use of it, mostly for superior aerial navigation and for recognizing the human mains that tend to host drop parties most
No wonder the motherfucker standing. Yo, bro,
While their
I don't know
street smarts are
why,
solid,
Blaze.
their combat potential
I don't
leaves a
know
lot to be
why,
desired.
bro.
Pigeons get bodied by basically every other build in the city meta, and for that, they're stuck in D tier. The next build on the list
Wait! What the fuck was that? The fucking turtle just snatched the pigeon up?
pigeons get bodied by basically
That's a
every
rat
other build
body in the
city meta,
pigeon?
and for that, they're stuck in D tier. The next build on the list is another
Poor
bird,
thing.
one that's opted for a tank type build, the Goose.
Goose.
Now, I've actually got a full video dedicated to geese, so I won't spend too much time discussing them here.
We're gonna have to check
But
that
geese
out
are
in the
actually one
future.
of the few builds in the game that had a nearly dead player base, with numbers dwindling before they started joining city servers.
We gotta
However, with the introduction of city parks,
we
geese have
gotta
risen to
check that one
prominence
out.
more so
Cause
than
geese
ever
are
before.
fucking
With that
aggressive,
said, as
bro.
intimidating as they can be, they're easily defeated as
So
long
the
as your
gorilla
build can
tried to
resist their
pound his best
intimidation
chest to
abilities.
fucking scare the
They
geese.
pose no real threat and don't really compete for the best.
Yeah, they're
loot
not a
either.
real threat,
And
but
for
they
that
just
reason,
make.
they're also in D tier.
Oh
In
damn.
C tier, we have a build that's had a bit of
They are
breakout
highly
success in the
aggressive
city meta,
birds.
The coyote. Coyotes hold a low
Coyote?
tier spot in the prairie and forest.
Well, I
meta,
guess they got them in
mainly
like
due to their
Cali.
inability to deal adequate damage to other players. However, most of the coyote's competition struggles.
That's a
in the
puma,
city
right?
meta, while the
Yeah, that's a
coyote's
mountain
excellent
lion.
intelligence stat allows it to
Puma,
do quite
mountain
well.
lion, same thing.
And in the city, potential targets for the coyote sport much less impressive
Oh.
combat stats. Coyotes are one of the few builds with a
Poor
favorable
squirrel.
matchup against the house cat build, one of the main matchups
That's
to
a
consider
cat?
in the city meta. This can work against the coyote sometimes though, as human players don't take kindly to coyotes attacking their vulnerable players in their party. Still, C tier is a
Vulnerable
higher
players.
place than I gave to coyotes on the canine tier list I made, meaning I think
We gotta
coyote
check the
build is
canine
more
tier
effective in
list
the
out
city
at some
than
point,
anywhere
too.
else. Next we have the gull, a build very similar in playstyle to the pigeon, but with a bit of added
Geese
bulk,
are flying
enabling it to
black
survive
Air Force,
attacks
bro, I
that mean game
swear.
over for
On
players in
God
the
they
lower
are.
weight class. Although
Seagulls-
they're excellent scavengers, because this build was initially
Seagulls
developed
are
by carnivore players,
pretty-
its combat abilities are strong enough to enable it to take
No
down other
way.
players if need be.
No way.
This build does best
No
in coastal
way.
city.
He swallowed that?
Combat abilities are strong enough to enable it to take down other players if need be. This build does best in coastal cities, but really is solid in just about any
How
city.
he get in your
Ranks high
house?
C tier. In B tier, we have the Feral Hog, another build which had a bit of breakout success in recent times. Feral Hogs are the bulkiest build
Nah,
on this
bro.
list, and because of their
Bruh,
bulk,
you don't
they've
wanna
got
fucking piss
essentially
off a
no
hog.
unfavorable matchups
A feral
against the
hog
other
at that?
non-human
You do not wanna
builds.
piss them off.
They are easily the safest builds to play when it comes to having to fear combat from other players, unlike coyotes.
Look,
which
look,
humans
like,
only
you do not
perceive
wanna
as
fuck with a
dangerous,
wild-
but
with
really are far too
feral
weak to pose a
hogs.
threat to them. Feral
Not
hogs
wild, feral,
legitimately are
it's probably
dangerous
like
to
a
humans.
hog
Because of
that
this,
was
I would
tamed
expect
that
the human
became
player
wild.
has to start calling for bans and react quite aggressively when a hog's
But-
presence is discovered.
Damn.
Still, with one of the highest intelligence stats in the game, the hog build can quickly
They're
learn to
smarter than
navigate cities.
dogs.
Perhaps their worst detriment is that they require a lot of loot to sustain, and since they can't climb, they may run out of all available loot rather quickly. Last in B tier, we have the squirrel. Squirrels have the highest
Squirrels made it to
arboreal mobility
B
of any
tier?
build in the game.
But they
And
are
this
very
mobility translates
versatile.
Quite well to
They
traversing
can go
buildings
on
and
the
power lines
electric
in the city
wires,
biome. While they aren't
trees.
tanks by any means, their
They probably
thick
could
fur does mean
burrow.
They can survive more damage than your average rodent build. Generally,
Did
they
that
don't
rat
need
just
to worry
attack the
about this
squirrel?
though, as their agility should be more than enough to allow
Yo,
them to
that
escape
cat
most
wanted
dangerous
that.
situations,
That cat want that.
and enough to allow them to
Yo.
bypass most obstacles and claim the best loot available. While there's certainly no powerhouse, there's no question that when it comes to traversing the urban biome, squirrels are near unparalleled. One of the biggest risks to squirrel mains is that their regenerative tooth ability forces them to use them every so often to damage
Oh, it's
structures.
gonna get
and
electrocuted.
We're making a biopic of
Falling on the wrong thing can mean game over for an inexperienced player. First in A tier, we have the raccoon.
GG's.
I see the raccoon build
Raccoons?
as sort of a direct
Raccoons
upgrade
are
to the
very
coyote,
smart.
at least in terms of its viability in the city biome.
Were those coyotes?
Boasts
Yeah, it was a fucking
similar
coyote.
DPS and intelligence, but is also omnivorous, has much better climbing abilities, and also has better stealth.
Bro,
Raccoon players have a reputation for
Why was
making
he up
some of the
there?
best thieving builds in the game.
just
And this
took
is
all
no
her
mistake.
popcorn. Took all her
Raccoons can get into
popcorn.
just about any container, and their sense of smell is so good that there's basically no way to hide loot from them. One thing to note is that raccoons are a high
Bro.
skill ceiling build with a low skill floor. Despite
He's-
the fact
okay,
that the
he's
raccoon
alive,
has
he's
all
alive.
the tools it needs to succeed in the city meta, their average lifespan is only about 2 years, despite having a maximum around 20.
Although captive raccoons have been known to live for over 20 years, their life expectancy in the wild is only 1.8 to 3. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. Why they live so short lives? In many areas, hunting and vehicular injury are the two most common causes of death. Okay, I could see that. Them getting hit by cars. And then I guess in states or places where, you know, people have like guns. Yeah, okay.
Years, despite having a maximum
Trash
around 20.
pandas, bro. That
On a
squirrel said I'm gonna
similar
take them
vein
and
to the
yo.
raccoon, next in A tier we have the monkey, another highly adaptable and versatile build.
See, we don't have to
which
deal with this
combines
in
the
America.
intelligence of the hog
At least I don't know
with
no
the
state in
mobility
America
of the
that has
slow
wild
to
monkeys.
create a build perfectly capable of
This is
mastering
mostly in, like,
everything
other
about city
countries.
gameplay. Monkeys are one of the
But
few
I've seen them
builds
do some
with an
crazy things. I've
intelligence
seen
level
monkeys
high
take
enough to
people
directly interact
alcohol,
with humans.
ice
Whether that
cream,
be stealing
anything,
from
bro.
them, trading with them, or even just generally socializing with them. The monkey's main weaknesses,
Why?
which are
Why
low
did the monkey do
defenses
that?
and high food cost, are also somewhat mitigated by cities, since high-value loot is abundant and the predators that could take advantage of the monkey's low defensive
that a-
stats
oh, that's
have
a
a
cat.
tough time traversing cities
Right?
uncontested.
Yeah, that's a cat.
However, it's important to note that due to a monkey's size, the climbing obstacles in cities aren't always as safe as they seem, so knowledge of how to traverse them is paramount. In top tier, we have two builds which really have total command of cities.
S
as
tier.
well
What's
as
S tier,
nigh
y'all?
untouchability from
It gotta
the
be
hazards
rats.
common in
Rats have to
cities.
be up there, man.
The first is the Corvid build, including
Corvid?
crows, ravens,
Oh,
and
Corvid are those
magpies.
smart birds.
These
Crows.
builds,
He just said
which
it.
are
He
tied
just
with
said it.
parrots for the highest intelligence level of any bird in the game, are masters of the city.
They
meta.
can even speak,
Similar
y'all.
to monkeys, their main
Crows,
weaknesses-
ravens, and all the corvids, if you talk to them long enough, they will repeat words just as good as a parrot, if not better sometimes.
of low base stats other than intelligence and mobility are less of an issue in the city. In fact,
That
corvids
poor
play
pigeon.
very similar to monkeys in basically every way except that corvids have the flight ability. They too can interface with humans with ease, but unlike monkeys,
Why
corvids
he
don't
do
have
that?
to worry about
Why he
obstacles
untie his
like
shoes,
roads
bro?
or power lines.
Why he
In fact,
untie his
corvids
shoes like
use these
that?
to their advantage. Roads in particular can be used to access loot that would be otherwise inaccessible to a build with such a low power stack.
That's
Whether
intelligent.
that
He
be
dropped
loot
the
from tough
fucking
tree
shit
nuts,
on
or
a
from players who
in
didn't
the
have
road.
the skills necessary to traverse those deadly roads.
Damn.
This was probably
Rest in
fairly
peace to that.
predictable, but there's no question that the best city build in the game is the rat. While they don't have
What did
the
I
flight
say?
ability,
What
the
did I
rat's
say?
powerful in
Rats
size or teeth
are
give
literally-
them the ability to forge their
They
own-
have literally gotten to the point that they coexist so well with humans that sometimes you probably not even realize how many rats is even in your like vicinity and whatnot. I'm not saying it's in your home, but outside your home and in that area, general vicinity, I'm telling you, man, there's rats out there.
paths through cities, being able to gnaw through pipes and even concrete. Their
They could chew
extremely
through
quick spawn
concrete?
rates ensure that once established, a rat player base will be able to leech off of human loot for as long as there's loot available. They're also excellent swimmers and take very little fall damage, so
Look
in
at
a
this
lot
shit.
of ways, rats are even better
Look
suited to
at
cities
this
than
shit.
humans are themselves.
Look
But
at
more
this
importantly,
shit, bro.
Rats are smart enough to learn to avoid traps that humans deliberately set for them. Intelligence really is everything when it comes to the city meta. Far more important than stats that are normally
Rats are
must-haves
too
like power
smart
and
for their
HP.
own good.
If you're interested
And in all
learning more about
honesty,
intelligent
rats wouldn't be so hated by humans if we didn't associate them with so many different diseases and whatnot. You know, during the days of like the Black Plague and all of that, and all these other plagues, rats was like people looked at rats as the big spreader of these plagues. So they got a bad rep for that. Their tail is pretty hideous, but their tail is actually has an actual function to their tail. Like rat tails actually help regulate their temperature. Let me see if I can verify that for y'all right now. I don't want to be spitting up some crazy news. The rat tail serves as a variable heat exchanger. This function is regulated by its blood flow, which is under control by sympathetic. I think that's I can't pronounce that, bro. But yeah, it helps regulate their temperature. So it has a function. It actually has a function.
animals, I recommend you check out Super Smart Animals, a documentary about the heights of animal intelligence on CuriosityStream. It's an awesome two-part series that covers both practical strategic intelligence and also goes into the social component of intelligence, something I'll be making a video about in the future. So if you want to try to predict my tier list for social and usocial builds,